Hello, today's video is about what if the Spanish flu had never happened? If you enjoy these types of videos, don't forget to like and subscribe to channel. The Spanish flu, also known as the 1918 influenza pandemic, was one of the deadliest pandemics in human history. Here's a detailed look at this significant event. The Spanish flu was caused by an H1N1 influenza A virus with genes of avian origin. It spread rapidly across the globe from 1918 to 1919, infecting about one-third of the world's population, which was roughly 500 million people at the time. The pandemic resulted in an estimated 50 million deaths worldwide, including approximately 675,000 deaths in the United States alone. The exact origin of the Spanish flu is still debated, but it is believed to have started in birds and then transmitted to humans. The pandemic spread quickly due to troop movements during World War I, which facilitated the virus's transmission across continents. The symptoms of the Spanish flu were similar to those of the seasonal flu, but were often more severe. They included sudden high fever, dry cough, headache, body aches, sore throat, chills, runny nose, loss of appetite, and extreme fatigue. Unlike typical flu strains, the Spanish flu had a high mortality rate among healthy young adults aged 20 to 40 years. The pandemic caused massive social disruption. Schools, theaters, churches, and businesses were closed, and public gatherings were banned to prevent the spread of the virus. Citizens were ordered to wear masks, and many cities faced shortages of medical supplies and personnel. The economic impact was also significant, with many industries suffering due to high illness and death rates among workers. At the time, there were no vaccines or effective treatments for the Spanish flu. Public health measures focused on quarantine, isolation, and hygiene practices. The pandemic highlighted the need for better public health infrastructure and led to advancements in medical research and influenza surveillance. The Spanish flu remains a critical case study in pandemic preparedness and response, influencing how modern societies handle outbreaks of infectious diseases. What if the Spanish flu never happened? Without the Spanish flu, the urgency to establish global health organizations like the WHO, World Health Organization, might have been delayed. This could mean that during the Ebola outbreak in 2014, the world might have faced even greater challenges in coordinating an effective response, potentially leading to a higher death toll and more widespread panic. The Spanish flu accelerated research in virology and vaccine development. Without it, the scientific community might have been less prepared for future pandemics. Imagine if the COVID-19 vaccines, which were developed in record time, had taken several more years to create. This delay could have resulted in a death toll exceeding 500 million as the virus spread unchecked. The economic devastation caused by the Spanish flu led to significant changes in labor policies and social safety nets. Without this push, workers' rights and social welfare programs might have developed more slowly. For instance, the Great Depression of the 1930s could have been even more catastrophic, with fewer safety nets in place to support the unemployed and impoverished. The high mortality rate among young adults during the Spanish flu caused significant demographic shifts. Without this event, the population structure in many countries would have been different. For example, the post-World War I baby boom might have been even larger, leading to a more crowded and competitive job market in the mid-20th century. The Spanish flu is often overshadowed by World War I in historical memory. Without it, the collective memory of the early 20th century might focus even more on the war and other events. This could mean less emphasis on public health crises in historical education and media. Public attitudes towards disease prevention and health measures might be less ingrained, potentially leading to greater resistance to health guidelines during future pandemics. Lessons learned from the Spanish flu influenced responses to later pandemics, including COVID-19. Without this historical precedent, responses to future pandemics might have been less effective. Imagine if the world faced COVID-19 without the benefit of past experiences, potentially leading to a much higher death toll, possibly in the hundreds of millions. Governments might have been slower to implement lockdowns, social distancing, and mask mandates, resulting in more widespread transmission and overwhelmed healthcare systems. As a result, as John M. Barry, author of The Great Influenza, The Story of the Deadliest Pandemic in History, said, "The 1918 pandemic demonstrated that a virus could kill more people in a year than any war, any terrorist attack, or any nuclear weapon, and it could do so very quietly, largely out of sight."